Good evening, everybody. It's Friday night, my friends, and that means I'm going to jump on in and try to do some coding tonight. Friday night coding night. Welcome on in. And hope everyone is doing well. Hope you're all healthy, happy, and all those things. And kicking your butt, taking names, getting stuff done. Hopefully it's all good there. But yeah, and hopefully you're all getting a start to your weekend and everything's going well and all that stuff. So yeah, we're just gonna have to continue with chapter 8, where we're trying to load up textures and things. I think I did the model stuff. I don't know if I did the cache. I don't think I did the cache. Hey, Tech, welcome on in. Saw my upcoming YouTube stream. There you go. Yep. That's good. At least that's working for a change. I noticed today that something has happened with the algorithm where I'm actually getting like a more variety of videos for a change. Still mostly videos I've already watched, but more of a variety at least, instead of the same ones over and over and over again. So that's good. So maybe they're switching things up a bit. Materials cache and models cache. So I have stuff that I have not committed yet, huh? So I think I was working on models and textures here. What's a new AI age testing for all I mess up on YouTube? Sometimes say bye to it too. Yeah, well, we'll see. I mean, it's not like they could screw up YouTube any more than they already have as far as usability goes. So, you know, it's already pretty rough just to try to watch the stuff you want to watch, or to get to have it surface stuff that you want to watch. But yeah, it is what it is. Be like how Twitch once was. Yeah. Yeah, well, it's what it is. I mean, part of it too is the damn, laws are now trying to push through all this age verification stuff, and we've been down this pipeline before. Like, age verification stuff is just, it has too many privacy concerns to ever be actually viable. And it's, it comes down to policing content again. It's just all that, it's the whole same nonsense all over again. They just keep coming back to it. To protect the children when they already have plenty of things to protect them with. But what are you gonna do? They're just gonna keep coming back to it until something sticks. You couldn't even find a one to follow. Yeah, exactly. Well, yeah, I mean, exactly. There's like, you've got parental controls on stuff now. You've got, you gotta actually, it's always been the case that you just had to step up and actually be a parent. But there's tools to actually help you. Because, yeah, the argument is you can't always be there, which is, is true, but, you do have a duty to understand the tools that you have to help you make those decisions, you know? And too many people just don't even want to, they want to go on autopilot, right? So it's just not the way it's not the way it goes. They want everybody else, they want the village to take care of their kids instead of them. And some of that gets back to, you know, it's some of that gets back to just the insane amount of work people have to do now. Like, they can never get away from work anymore. You know? That certainly ties into it too. Oh yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean, they, with all these tools that they have to help them, you know, actually parent their kids, you would think that would be enough, but fortunately, they want everything to be done for them. I'm trying to think of where I left off. Material, Vulkan Mesh. Obviously, I left off on Vulkan Mesh here because this is the file that opened immediately. And then what's the yeah, oh yeah, I was doing transform material. Transform material. Call parents that I call baby makers not ever been there for teaching their kids. Yeah, I mean, it's very true. It is very, very true. They want the tax write-off. They don't actually want the responsibility. Okay, so that was filling out the Vulkan material. Vulkan materialist. I think I've done this, right? Vulkan mesh and prepare mesh. I think I've done this. Let's do compare chapter 7 with chapter 8. And so we got Vulkan model. Material. Okay, so I think that's where we were. This is models cache. I think I skipped all that. Because there's no reason to do this now. And I don't know that I want to cache it. I think I want to use a EH cache or some third-party library to cache the stuff, because why manage that yourself if you don't need to? That being said, there's more stuff in here. Okay, so this is load materials. Material cache. You never wanted to have mom find out when you did anything wrong. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, unfortunately it's and I imagine it's still largely the same. It's just that we only ever hear about the failures, right? Because they're the ones that are the loudest to complain about how it wasn't their fault, it was everybody else's fault. And now we're, everything's on blast, so they can just blast out to everybody and that something else should have been done when it was their fault. Did Vulkan mesh material hold a reference and material identifier? Yeah. Material. Okay, so making a Vulkan mesh record. Clean up stuff in it. Oops, that's not what I want. I'm on the wrong thing. Here we go. Vulkan mesh. Data material. Mesh data. This is all the descriptors, which is the next part. And so I have the transform material, which I think I did. So I create a Vulkan material. Yeah, I have the prepare material, which has the record, texture transition, and all that stuff. And then in the transform model, they have the create textures, right? So in Vulkan model here, we have prepare model. Then I call prepare material. Okay. Just goes through and does that. And so transform material, and then it adds it to the material list. Okay, and I've got that. Okay, so I got this part. So then Vulkan material, default Vulkan material, mesh data. So what are they doing here? They're doing Vulkan mesh list add. So you're going through Vulkan material, mesh data, material index, material lists, size, okay. Yeah, material index, transform material, new metadata. Yeah, I played a little bit of Star Rupture off camera, and it's okay. It's fine. I like the idea that they're their transport system, like their material transport system, is a pull system. So it only, like, multiple items can go on the same track, and they're only pulled in when they're actually requested and required. Which I think is a lot nicer than your typical, like, it just keeps, the machines just keep generating more and more and more resources on the belts and stuff. So it's nice from that perspective. The building is okay. It's a little, I felt like it was a little bit janky at parts. But you can kind of get used to it. I don't like the belts that you put up, the rail system that you put up. Like, you can't put any hard turns in it. Like, you have to, you can't put any soft turns in it. You have to, like, everything's got to be, you got to put up a post that has like a 4-way to have it come off of that and stuff, which I think is a little bit heavy-handed. But given that things can share it, I guess it is what it is. But the gimmick of it doesn't really interest me. Like, I thought there'd be more to it than just, the planet surface just gets wiped out every so often, and then magically everything grows back. I thought there'd be more to it than that. So I feel like there's not enough there to keep me interested in what's going on. I know that there's some stuff to explore, which is nice, but it's kind of, overall, I just felt like it was just kind of meh. I just didn't really, I wasn't really vibing with it. Yeah, like I said, I was playing it on my Linux machine here. It worked, really well. Like, I didn't have any performance issues or anything like that. I just kind of, I didn't really vibe with it too much. That being said, what I didn't realize was Titan Quest 2 just got shadow dropped today into early access. So that's going to take up a bunch of my time. Because I love Titan Quest 1, and 2 is, I got to play a little bit of the alpha of 2, like the closed alpha, and I liked it there. I just didn't know that they were going to drop it today during the THQ Nordic event. So you go on Twitch right now and there's tons of people playing Titan Quest 2. So I'm going to have to get on that soon as well. I was hoping I'd have a little bit more time because I wanted to do another run on Titan Quest 1. I wanted to do a new game plus of Titan Quest 1 so I could get to the one DLC that I never got to do, because it had to be on a harder difficulty, and you only unlock harder difficulties after you've done the lower difficulty. So you have to do it on, like, your second playthrough, and I never got around to it. So now we got Titan Quest 2 out. So so that's been good too. I'm waiting for, there's also something called, what's it called? I think I have it on my wish list here. I think, where's my wish list at? So that's a grand strategy. That's not the one. What was the one I was looking for? Ingram. Well, they did show a little bit more from the Gothic 1 remake, which is kind of nice. Starship Simulator is coming along pretty good. Um, what was the name of that? Because I cannot. Um, the Flight of Nova is in early access. The demo for that wasn't too bad, but there wasn't a whole lot to it yet. What was the? No, not derelicts. There was like a. It wasn't. I don't think it was sci-fi, but it was like a. Oh, there's Inter Astra, which is a survival sandbox, but it's got mixed right now in early access. It's only $14 too, so I haven't played that yet. Um, uh, Solar Gene? No, that's a city builder. I forget the name of it now. There was one that they said was like a different. It was kind of a Stardew Valley alike, but it was different. Can't think of the name of it. What was the? I don't think it was Story of Seasons, was it? I thought there was one that had like slightly different take on it. Oh, here we go. This is probably it. Fields of Mystria? Is that the one? Maybe? Yes, this one is... See, I thought it was something different than that. It's probably okay, but... No, this was 2024. What? I thought there was something more recent than that. Well, I am waiting for Navalis. Minnesota Island. Now I played that. Is that good? No. Pacha. One Lonely Outpost. I played the demo of that. That wasn't too bad. Harvestella. Oh yeah, I was recording some video of that. I need to get back to playing that again. Slime Rancher 2. I mean, that's not out yet. But that's early access for a while there. But that's not. Man, those are. I wouldn't call those Stardew Valley likes. They're really reaching there. I don't remember what the name of it was. I feel like it just. It was just like I feel like it just came out or was just announced or something. I don't know, whatever. I can't find it. But yeah, that's kind of what I felt about it. It was okay as far as like Star Rupture is concerned. It was okay. I wasn't didn't vibe all that much with it, to be honest. But yeah. Okay. Vulcan material. What are they using Vulcan material for? Like they're setting it here. For what purpose? That's what's weird to me. What purpose are they setting that? Vulcan material. So they've got, yes, they've got Vulcan material again down here. Oh, it's just to get, okay. It's just to add the mesh to the material. I don't think I need to do. Yeah. Yeah, they're adding the mesh to the Vulcan material, which I have a completely different structure here. So I don't think I need to do that. Because I have a separate mesh list from the material list, which might end up biting me in the ass later, but we'll see. Okay, so that's where we're at there. So then the models cache has to be able to load preprocessed models. Model generator. I don't think do they actually have a models cache over here? They don't. They just have a texture cache. Yeah, they don't even actually have the code up for a model cache, so I don't know what the hell that's all about. So I'm not going to do it. So that's that. I mean, I'm loading one model up. I don't need a freaking cache right now. And they're loading one model up too. They don't need a cache either right now. That's what's bothering me about that. Okay, so then that's the case. I'm going to skip the model cache BS here. I don't know that there's anything. Do I need, is there really anything in here that's needed? Data input stream, buffered input stream, file input stream. The hell are they doing? They're recording command buffer, record transfer command. Staging buffer lists. Generator class. I don't know what they're trying to accomplish here. Create indices buffers. Where is this supposed to be at? And I got a material cache. This, the more I look at this, the more it looks like it's actually necessary in order to load them up into the GPU, but I don't understand. Where's the book samples, chapter 8. Cache. Where the hell is it? They've got like keyboard input, mouse input, and stuff in here too. They don't actually have in chapter 8. I don't know. This thing's a freaking mess. Here it is. Models cache. Materials cache. Where is that at? It's at the top level of graph. ENG graph. Okay. Did they just recently update this? Okay, yeah, they did update. Well, they updated the book contents. Okay. So... Oh, now they have a model cache and a material cache. Okay, well, that explains it. I guess I don't understand why they're... maybe they're calling it a cache when it's not really a cache. Because it's early to be caching anything. Like, we just have one model that we're loading and running, right? Like, this is not, we're not loading an entire scene yet. If we were doing an entire scene, I could understand it. So why are they... I guess we'll have to do it. Let's, let's see what they got now. That's not working. Why is that? Let's try this again. Okay, so I'm still not seeing the changes here. What is going on with this? I just got latest down. Welcome book. This is the right thing, right? Idea projects, Vulcan book. Okay. Oh, I must have brought this down separately. Yeah, okay. I brought down a separate copy of it. That's the problem. Alright, so chapter 7. God damn it, that's the wrong one. Stop doing that. Chapter 8. Yeah, now the cache stuff is showing up. Graph utils. Plain image data. Materials cache is brand new. Alright, so explain to me why doing a cache here right now. It's what I want to know. Model generator. So what is the... So they have this hard-on for a model generator, and I don't know why they want this. Generate model file. Yeah, I don't need to generate a model file. I've got a model file, so fuck off with that. It's so weird. Like, I get it. They're generating something on the fly, and they'll probably use this later on for stuff, but like, Who cares? Like just have something there that works. Um, process texture. It's model generator. Yeah, it's just writing stuff out to a. Where is it writing this to? I don't understand where it's. VTX output. Vertex output is going where? What the frick are they doing here? This just. It bothers me that they've. This is the only book available on this bullshit. It just bothers me because this book is written terribly. Like it's just like slapped together and not actually explain what the hell is going on or why. What? Wait, where was that at? It was called model generator, I think. Yeah, here we go. Text ID. Model path. J commander. So what the hell is J commander? That's just command line parsing. I think it's just command line. Yeah, I think it's just command line parsing. Okay, never mind. Process text chords. File exists. AI import file. Materials. Yeah, this is just loading the file up, which is what I have for the model loader. Doing JSON for the model. They're writing the model out as a JSON file. Okay. For some reason. Model file, okay. File writer. Material file. Generate materials file. And release import. So is that literally all they're doing? They're reading in the model file and then they're just generating a JSON file that is the same as the model file. Generating two JSON files, a model file and a materials file. Well, actually 4 files. I don't. I mean, I guess the thought process is that the initial import of the file is an expensive operation, which, okay, sure, I can get behind that, but like, why are you doing this now? Like, like, you literally have one model right now. Like, all this bullshit should just get pushed off to a later chapter. In fact, it could probably be a chapter unto itself, right? Like, why is this being thrown in as like you need to do this right now? That, like, this is stupid. Like, they're literally loading a cube with a texture on it. Like, this is this is dumb to be doing this right now. I mean, sure, you want to do something that you're going to build upon later, but you don't have to build it now. You just need the shit to work right now. Like, baby steps. Like, I feel like whoever put this together does not understand the concept of baby steps. Like, I really don't. And I think it's not entirely their fault, because the Vulkan library sucks as far as like making baby steps on anything, because everything is like, there's so much boilerplate that you can't just like make a small step without writing an entire freaking novel. But like, at some point, like, they're just throwing so much shit at the wall here. This is just the worst. Like, this has got to be the worst guide that I've ever had to suffer through for anything. Like, it's like, it feels like it's slapped together by someone who just doesn't give a fuck, you know. Or worse yet, it's slapped together by someone that actually knows what they're doing and cannot take a step back and realize that they're trying to teach people who don't know what they're doing. All right, like, yes, you want someone experienced to write a guide like this, but you also want someone who has enough self-awareness to take a step back and go, okay, how would I approach this if I didn't know anything? You know? And they're just not even in the same ballpark. It's frustrating. It's really frustrating, because I feel like I've been presented with something that is being pawned off to me as more complicated than it has any right to be. You know, like, it feels like, I get that you have all this control in Vulkan and all that stuff, and it's, you know, all this stuff, but I feel like there has to be a better way of presenting this that actually, you know, could stick in somebody in someone like my mind, where I am stupid and slow, you know? Like, a stupid, slow person like me should be able to learn this stuff, not suffer through all this chicken scratch here. Like, what the fuck are they doing? Like, seriously, what is this shit? I mean, it's just insanity. They're writing all this crap out to this output file. Model bin data takes output. Like, what the fuck are you doing? Process texture path, embed text ID matcher. They're doing a regex on the texture path. They're matching on any numbers? Any number of numbers from 0 to 9. They're matching on here. They're doing a group matcher. They're trying to, I guess they're trying to harmonize the file name? Oh, maybe. They're trying to harmonize the file names somehow, and they're assuming they're PNGs, which is fun. They're creating... They're writing the compressed texture data to a PNG. This feels like the height of silliness. It really does. Like, on the one hand, I get that they're trying to write an intermediate file that has all the data in it that they want, so that they can have the pre-processed parsed data in a format that might be slightly faster to read. But we're not at this point yet. So what is the point of doing this right now? You've got literally one model you're loading. And it's... And I don't... I guess... I don't know. I mean, I haven't done a performance numbers on how long it takes to load up an object file from Blender or any other modeling thing. Like, it might very well take some time to load that file up, you know, using ASIMP library. But here's my thing here. Right? So, okay, let's just say I mean, they're also pulling textures out of it, so I can see there being a need for a texture, like an image file of the texture that's getting pulled out of there. So I can sort of get behind that. Sort of. But in reality, like, I don't, this is, what is the, like, writing them as separate files, is that actually helping anything? Like, I guess the idea there is that maybe you'll load 10 models up and two or three of them will have the same texture, and then you're just going to write that file once and then share it amongst them. But at the same time, I don't think this code actually handles that. It'll just try and, well, it'll open or create a file. So if the file existed, it'll just open it again and then overwrite it with the new stuff. So it's not, I mean, I guess technically it'll since they'll be the same texture data, you'll be saving some time there, but like the thing that's bothering me about this is that it feels more complicated. Number one, I don't feel like we should be doing it at all right now. But number two, it feels more complicated than it needs to be. Like it feels like, someone's like, hey, look at this flex. Look at how I can translate all this stuff to all these files, and now we have all these translated files. It's like, well, that's great and all, but you could just load the file up into, let's say, some pojos, have those pojos structured together, right? And then, I don't know, use that JSON library you love and write them out as one JSON file. Done. Right? Like all this embedded textures and stuff. Oh, you know what? You can just take this thing, base64 encode it, write it out as a string, as part of the JSON. And then you just have to load it back, and then you can load that entire JSON file up. Just one file. That's it. Load it all right back up. All the stuff in it. Done. Right? Like it just feels like someone went crazy on this when they didn't need to at all. Like, just load the damn thing up, load all the textures up, put them all into memory, dump the contents of memory into a JSON file, call it a day. I mean, all of this nonsense just for that. It's so silly. So all of this, the entire purpose, it looks like, of this model generator is to write those files. So I'm not going to do any of that. It's because it's just stupid. It's like, we don't need this right now. The thing I'm more concerned about is when we get into the cache stuff. So we got the model cache. Because this looks like this is actually communicating with this is actually doing Vulkan stuff. This is actually creating Vulkan buffers. Create vertices buffers. What calls this? Load models. So this is so that's why it's got like data input stream, buffered input stream, file input stream, because it's the fucking thing that they loaded up, which is stupid and silly. GPU buffers. So record transfer command, transfer buffer, but I have this data already. Like, don't we have this already? Like, I swear we already have this stuff. We have it because we did the last model we did in completely in memory. So we should have all this stuff already with the transfer buffers and all that stuff. So why so just duplicating it over here. Vulkan mesh lists. Vulkan mesh. Load models. Models map for each. Flip buffer. Create indices buffers. Requested size. So what are we doing there? Models map. You know what? I'm not doing any of that. How about the material cache? Now the material stuff we have to do something with. Load materials. Material map. Again, I'm not gonna do the caching part of it. That's just silly right now. And honestly, like I said, I could throw EH cache at it and just be like, here, load this model up. Done. You know, and it can actually write all that stuff to disk instead of keeping it in memory. And then if I can do a disk cache through EH cache and just done, I don't have to even think about it, right? I just put an annotation on the method that says load the material, and if it's already got it, it'll just give me that instead of going through the whole reading the file and everything. Like it's weird. It's so weird. You know? You're trying to teach things and then I don't know. But we do need, it looks like we need the load materials method at least. Because that's doing command buffer transfer stuff. So where do I put that? So I've got Vulkan material here. We got prepare material. Cache create texture. Vulkan texture cache. Got generate texture here. So what is this doing? Materials. So record copy buffer. Record texture transition. Material texture path. Oh. So what is the Who calls load materials? Render calls it. Material data. So how does it get material data? What the hell is VKCTX? Oh, Vulkan contexts? Okay. That seems like a brand new thing that was introduced here. No, apparently they've been updating previous chapters to introduce this, I bet. Because this is the first I'm seeing Vulkan context class. Pain in my ass. Which probably makes a lot more sense now. It's like hitting a moving target. Just great. Just great. Description allocator. Good God, what is that thing? This is brand new. Descriptor allocator. Descriptor pool info. Descriptor sets. I think that's what it's talking about later on in here. What was the materials? Yeah, descriptors represent shader resources such as buffers, images, or samplers. We use descriptors in order to access the textures from the shaders and also for uniforms. Okay. Managing descriptors is often a tedious task. You need to define for each pool the number of descriptor sets it'll be able to hold for each of the supported types. I love how it's like, this is the tedious part of Vulkan. It's like, pretty much all of it's tedious. Each descriptor needs to be associated to a descriptor set layout, which are tightly related to how they will be used in the shaders. In order to facilitate this process, we're going to use the following approach. We'll create descriptor pools, which will support the descriptor sets we're going to use. Size to the maximum number of elements supported by the driver. If we reach the limit in a specific descriptor pool, we'll create just a new pool. We will store descriptor sets by name so we can easily access them by identifier. Centralize all the above in class name descriptor allocator in order to isolate other parts of the code. The complexity of managing descriptor sets. Descriptor pool is just a placeholder for descriptor set handles. When it's created, it just allocates different descriptor sets according to their types. Vulkan defines several types. We specify how many descriptors we want to pre-create for each type. Therefore, descriptor pool constructor receives, so as a reference to the device, a list of descriptor type count, which specifies how many descriptor sets should be allocated for each type. With that information, we'll fill up a buffer of VK descriptor pool size structures will be used in that. Descriptor set. Clean up. Definition of the following descriptor sets. First one is composed by two uniforms A and B. Okay. Just defines a single uniform. Okay, binding 0. Descriptor set layouts are used to define that structure. We have several descriptor sets sharing the same layout. Using different buffers associated with the same layouts. Sets layout. Okay. Okay, create sampler function. Hey, Fidget Gamer, welcome on in. How you doing? Sampler anisotropy. Descriptor set. All right, so we're getting down the pipeline of descriptors, and I'm still trying to figure out what's going on with this other nonsense here. So, what I need. So I feel like I need this load materials, but I need it to live somewhere. Because this is setting up. What is this setting up? This is creating the byte buffers. For the texture cache. I think, yeah. So what's going on there? What happened over there? That's weird. Huh. Anyway. Let's see. What's so what is this? I understand. Yeah, we're getting all kinds of video game music. What's going on with? Why do we have a materials buffer? Like I see that it's making a VK buffer there. But it's replacing it every time it comes into this load materials, which I guess it only comes into this load materials once. But why are we keeping... I guess we're just keeping that around in order to clean it up. Yeah. So we're just keeping it around just long enough to clean it up. Yeah, because we're doing a transfer buffer on it. We're transferring a source buffer to that. Add texture. text. What is... I am baffled here. I feel like I need this, but at the same time, it's not, it doesn't make any sense. And then they're just unmapping it again. Like, what is the freaking point here? Reporting a transfer command. I mean, I get that we're copying it over to the GPU. So I've got that part of it, but I don't know what the frick we're doing here. Source buffer. Byte buffer. Source buffer, get requested size. Map to memory. Okay, we're mapping it to the data byte buffer. Saying, okay. I don't know why do we need padding? Nope. It says, is this song a Mario Kart one? This is, that's a good question. Let me see. I can come over here and look. Brainwave.cc OC remix. It was Super Cartography Brothers. I don't know what that game was. This one is Final Fantasy VIII for this one. Guess he previously played, what was that called? Yeah, it was Super Cartography Brothers was the name of the game, I believe. Yeah. Then we had Skyward Sword before that. Even a Pokemon Town. Yeah, right? Yeah, and there's other things. By the way, if anybody's been wondering, OC Remix Radio. This is the link to OC Remix Radio, and you can actually go on there, and I think if you can create like a login or something, and you can go and vote on what songs you want to hear next and all that stuff. So, and I'm just streaming that through Winamp. So unfortunately, because I'm streaming it through Winamp, I don't always get all the data here. But you can always go here to see what's currently playing and stuff. So, yep. In fact, I'll throw that. I guess I can't throw that in chat. I was gonna throw it in chat, and then I realized I don't have my software KVM switch set up still, so that's not gonna work. Oh well. Let me see. Yeah, I'm trying to figure out. I mean, this looks necessary. I just don't know where I'm going to put it. Because so this is loading, because this is called from the render. I've got to generate texture. The generate texture here. So then what is... So I feel like this should be in the Vulkan material. Because in the material here they're calling the texture record texture transition, but in reality it needs to do this other thing too, right? The material data that it's being given. Init data.materials. Well, that's just not helpful at all. Because they freaking have a part on for records for some reason. Can never... It just muddies the water as to what the hell they're actually doing. Init data. Where does the init data come from? Game logic init. Oh, for crying out loud. Of course it's an interface. Jesus H. Christ. Game logic init. Who? One implementation. Here we go. Yeah, let's have an interface for one implementation. Because that's not penisy or anything. Alright. So that's loading up the model data. It's calling model loader load materials, which is loading up all that material data that they saved off through this other crazy process. So that is in, where the hell is that at? So that was model generator, right? So I see n number, yeah, okay, n number or m number of materials. And then it's calling process material, which I think I have that in my loader already. I think. Model loader. Yeah, I've got the materials here. Okay. And I've got a process material. So I have this stuff, I just don't have it in the way that they have it. And I know that this at least somewhat works because I'm using the same thing for the OpenGL engine, and that loads the model okay. So, alright. So then... let me think. All right. Let's think. Let's think here. So by my reckoning, I've got a list of materials already. And this is going into materials. That's all getting loaded up into this model, right? So I'm returning the model with the materials and everything else. Yeah, okay. So I've got all the data. All we need to do is load that into the GPU. So I need to generate texture. Image data, image view data. Okay, so material. So I need to let's do this. Private void load material into GPU. All right. And then over here, take a list of material data. So I just take a list of material. Right, and buffer size is material size times number of materials. What is this set to? Huh. Okay, Tech. Thanks. I appreciate the lurk. Vector 4 size is 4 times float size, so it's 16. 16 plus 4 times 4, huh? Okay, so I need a vector 4 size. I bet I don't have that yet. Channel size. Limit static final. Oops. Vulkan utils. I thought I had. Wait, don't I have like a constants? Matrix 4x4 size, what they're looking for? No, it's like static final int. They call it here 4 times float size. They changed float length to float size. Okay, whatever. 4 times float length. Okay. So then so what do they do here? Plus int size times 4. Go. All right, so they use number of materials again. Yeah, they use it for a for loop. Is there any reason to have a for loop there? As opposed to just a regular loop? No, there is not. This also bothers me because this is C style stuff, which means they didn't bother to like really give it a they gave it a half-hearted translation from C to Java instead of using stuff that they actually have access to. Although, wait, materials get I. Yeah, they don't need to do that. Just loop. Okay. What's buffer size used for? Okay, for that. So we want int buffer size equals material size times number of materials times material list dot size. Right? Yeah. Source buffer is a VK buffer. Buffer size, okay. Wait. Wait. What the hell am I looking at here? Wait a second. Since when did Java get the var keyword? Wait a minute. I was like looking at this for a second. I'm like, wait, this isn't JavaScript. This is Java. What the hell is going on here? Wait a second. Did I completely miss something that was updated in Java at some point here? Java var keyword. Oh, it was introduced in Java 10. Okay, so I'm not completely losing my mind. Although Java 10 was a while ago, but like, Jesus Christ. So, is it literally an untyped thing? Until Java 9, we had to mention the type of a local variable explicitly and ensure it was compatible with the initializer used to create it. In Java 10, this is how we could declare a local variable. We don't provide the data type of message. Instead, we mark the message as a var, and the compiler infers the type of message from the type of the initializer present on the right-hand side. This feature is available only for local variables with the initializer. It cannot be used for member variables, method parameters, return types, etc. Initializer is required, as without which compiler won't be able to infer the type. So instead of doing map integer string map, you can do var id to name map equals new hash map. Var is not a keyword. This ensures backwards compatibility for programs using var, says a function or a variable name. Var is a reserved type name, just like int. There's no runtime overhead in using var, nor does it make Java dynamically typed language. The type of the variable is still inferred at compile time and cannot be changed later. Okay. That explains why I don't see anybody using it. Because that just leads to confusion. Yeah, that's a really not good thing that they added to the language. Because especially as a full stack developer, we use like var. I mean, nowadays in JavaScript you use let more often than var, but it's still there, right? And so if you've done JavaScript for any length of time, you're thinking, oh, the var keyword, it gives me a dynamically typed variable. Nope, that's not it at all. So I don't know why they called it var. They should have just called it lazy or something, something else. Like it just, that's really, I don't, I, that's just going to lead to a lot of confusion. I do not like that. I mean, first of all, we already have a shortened form of this. Well, no, we don't actually, technically. But here's the thing here. You're not really shortening this up that much, right? Because at some point you've got to tell it that it's an integer and a string. It's generic at some point, right? So we have the shortened form here where you don't have to repeat the generic. But now you're going, well, instead of writing this, we'll just write this over here. So we literally saved you like 4 characters. Like, okay. Like, I don't, that is, I don't think I'll ever use that. I don't think I'll ever use it. That's just going to lead to confusion because especially like if I switch routinely between Java and JavaScript when I'm doing front end stuff, doing controllers and then doing the JavaScript and stuff. And this is just going to completely throw me for a loop if somebody starts using this, right? Because I'll be like, wait, am I in Java right now? Am I in JavaScript right now? Like that is. And it's silly. It's just not. Yeah. I mean, it makes sense to me that they introduced it in Java 10 because most people went from 8 to 11 because 9 and 10 where there was a lot of fundamental changes that happened around packaging and everything else. And so you really waited for 11. You really went from 8 to 11 because 11 was the more stable one and you had to make all the changes anyway. Oh, for crying out loud. These fucking bots, man. I swear to God, I'm gonna lose my shit here at some point. Selling viewers bots. Alright, get rid of that goddamn thing. It always, I always find it hilarious too that like after the stream is over, I go and look at my email and Like whenever I've banned a bot, like Twitch will be there. Like I'll get 2 emails back to back. Like one's like, "We've received your report," and the next one, like a few seconds later, "We've actioned your report." It's like, yeah. I mean, how about instead of having me report them, how about you like catch them before they start putting shit in chat? It's like you're not paying me for my time. Uh, oh, and I looked at the speaking of that. So apparently, this drives me absolutely insane when it comes to Twitch here, right? And the news around Twitch, like they're never, like nothing's ever explained well. Um, apparently that whole monetization for all thing that started on the 28th, you still have to sign up for it. I thought they were pushing it onto everybody because it seemed like they were pushing it onto everybody, but no, or all US streamers, but no, you have to sign up for it. You still have to give financial details, so that answers that question. Even though you're not getting paid out for it, you have to still give financial details on it, which also makes sense because they still have to track what's going on. But there was a spreadsheet that of features that Zach Busey put out that showed the 4 different tiers now, because there's like the community or the plebs like me who don't have anything, and then there's the onboarded ones, and then there's affiliates, and then there's partners, and it showed a grid of all the features that you have access to. And if you onboard, you have access to subs and bits, which we knew about. You don't have access to ads, right? Which to me would be the whole point of bothering, right? Like if I had access to be able to like run ads when I want to, so that they'll turn off so you don't get the pre-roll ads all the time, then I might have been persuaded to even sign up for it just for that purpose, just so I could, run ads at a natural breaking point and have no ads for people coming in, because I see people come in and bounce out very quickly as soon as they get hit with an ad, right? So they didn't do that. No, you still got to be an affiliate to even get to that point. It's just I don't get it. It's just like I don't know what mental block they have on their technical team that prevents them from understanding how their platform is used. But like, it's there and it's present, and it's really frustrating. It's really, really frustrating. It's like, I mean, I've screamed and yelled about it for ages. They need to dog food more. They need to actually use the platform that they're working on. But apparently that's too much effort. They would rather just design all these features in a vacuum and then never explain anything that's going on. But yeah, whatever. I'm ranting again. I'm ranting again. Old man yelling at the clouds again. Let's see. So we're creating it. Okay, so that's the var. It threw me off. Source buffer, VK buffer. Okay, so I want VK buffer. What is VK buffer? That's something that they created. I bet that's something they created that they've changed since I've started doing this tutorial. Yeah, they create a class called VK Buffer. Ugh. What is this nonsense? Buffer create info. Oh, you know what? Usage. Oh, this is no. I know what it is. They've renamed it VK Buffer because that makes a lot of sense. No, this is Vulkan Buffer. I have a class called Vulkan Buffer because I actually spent the time to type things out so I can actually understand my code later on. There we go. Vulkan Buffer, and then what do I take in here? Device. Yeah, I love how they it drives me up a wall. So they created a whole class called Vulkan Context that has all kinds of stuff in it, right? It's got like so much crap in it. Like, look at all this. It's got all kinds of stuff in here. Surface, swap chain, instance, all this crap, right? And all they really needed was the reference to the logical device, and then they're done, right? But they're passing all this shit around constantly, and it's just it's like they don't understand how things work. They're just like, oh, let's just throw everything in there. It's just ugh. VK Buffer. All right, so I mean, technically it's passed by reference, so they're not passing they're passing just a reference, they're pushing just a reference onto the stack. But still, it's like you got all this BS shoved into one thing and you don't need it. You need a reference to the device and that's it. Like, you've just created such a heartache for yourself to test this stuff later on because you're taking all this other crap in that you don't use, and you're just making it harder on yourself. It's like, just pass the one damn thing you need, and then shove off. So I need logical device. So it takes device, size, usage type, and mask. Okay. For size. Okay, VK buffer usage transfer source bits. Source bits. And then what's the next thing? The mask. VK memory property host visible bits. Host visible bits. Board with the coherent bits. I saw that when I was looking at it. Okay, 14. Host coherent bits. Okay. And then the material buffer. VK buffer. That's the destination. Material buffer is the destination bits. Stored with the storage buffer bit. Okay. So materials buffer. So we're going to need that, I suppose, for now. So let's go. Oh, and I'm giving this material, right? So I need the material list? Question mark? Oh, so this is only going to have one material. By the way that I have it set up. Okay. Okay, so I don't need a loop here then. We're just going to do one. And I've already got the materials, so I don't need that then. Right, so this is just going to be... Really, it's just size 1, so I'm just going to... I don't need to multiply it by 1. So we'll do that. Okay, and then... Private... Vulkan buffer... Serial... There we go. Okay, so material buffer... equals new Vulkan buffer device buffer size, and then buffer usage transfer destination bits. Destination bit board with buffer usage storage buffer. Buffer usage storage buffer bits. And then VK memory property device local bits. Property device local bits. There we go. All right, and then we get command buffer. So we're creating we're creating command buffer right here. So that's the one thing that could be pricey or costly, is creating and cleaning up a command buffer. But for right now, this is how I'll do it, and then later on we'll have to figure out if there's a... Later on when I want to... Once I've gotten a few more chapters under my belt, I want to go back and refactor a lot of this stuff and just try to get it to a point where I can start to understand what's really going on here, because I'm understanding a little bit, but not enough to be useful. All right. So we get a... Let's do a command buffer. So what do I need here? I need a command pool, primary, and one-time submit. So this takes a command pool in. And then it's true and true. Okay. Okay. You know what though? The prepare material has a command buffer passed in. I wonder if I can use that or if it has to be brand new. Prepare material. Command buffer. Command pool primary true, one time submit true. I might be able to just reuse that. I'm going to try. It might be a really bad idea, but I'm going to try. So instead of creating another command pool, I'm just going to take the Vulkan command buffer. It's already there. Do it that way. So we're doing begin recording. Oh, I gotta make sure that did begin recording already get called? Prepare material. Yes, begin recording has already been called, so I don't need to call it again. Which is quite nice. Okay, so then what are we doing? Transfer buffer. Byte buffer. Net memory. Requested size. Alright, so transfer buffer. Did I not call it transfer buffer? Come on, I've done this before. What did I call it? Oh, transfer buffers? Transfer buffers. I made it a record, a private record under that. Okay. And I use a record transfer command. Is this, I wonder if this is going to be, oops, that's not what I want. I wonder if this is going to be, like a common thing here. It's got 8 usages. Oh yeah, it looks like they went back and actually made a common utility method for this. Instead of having, yeah. Yeah, it's what it should have been in the first freaking place. Yeah, source buffer, destination buffer, record transfer command. So what I'm going to do is token utils. Yeah, I think this will be a fine place for it. So public static public static void. Okay. Record transfer commands. Right, and then it's source buffer, destination buffer. Source buffer. Destination buffer. And let's say so try stack push and so VK buffer copy dot buffer. Oh, that's a thing in Vulkan. Okay. So VK buffer copy buffer copy region equals VK buffer copy callback 1 stack. Okay. And then oh, and then source offset destination is 0. Okay. That size is the source buffer get requested size. Then VK command copy buffer. Get buffer. Source buffer, get buffer. Destination buffer, get buffer. And then copy region. Those aren't right though. Are those references? Are they supposed to be references? Yeah, so they're really just get ID. God damn it, I did it again. There we go. Cool. So, record transfer command. So it looks like we can actually probably change some of our other stuff over to use that. But let's do this right now. Source buffer map. Source buffer get requested size. Why are we doing? Wait, is transfer buffer used again? Well, it's used to record a transfer command, yeah. And then to do cleanup. But that's just calling source buffer cleanup, which I already have a reference to, so. Okay. So what are we doing with mapped memory? Mem byte buffer data. Oh, okay. We're manipulating it for some reason. Alright, so on mapped memory. That's what is it? What are they calling? Source buffer dot map. Okay. And then byte buffer data. Util mem byte buffer. Int source buffer get requested size. Okay. So offset is 0. So we have the material texture path. I have a has texture, I think, on the material itself. So I think, let me see, material has texture, yeah. I have that on there. if it has a texture, it's calling texture cache add texture here, which I'm already taking care of. Well, I'm not caching a texture right now, so I don't need to do that. That's already taken care of. So then what else has texture being used for? Down here. Okay, Vulkan material, we don't need to do that. We don't need to do the materials map. Diffuse color. Alright, so get diffuse color. Get 0 data. Alright, and then data put int has texture, okay. Put int texture cache get position texture path. Texture cache get position. Oh, I don't know what the hell they're doing here. You know what would be really great if they freaking commented on what they were doing here. Like, I know you're supposed to read the chapter and everything, but the chapter doesn't really go into too many details, and it'd be really nice if they put some actual comments in their example code so you can tell what the frick they're doing. And, you know, something more than just padding, right? Like, okay, why? Why padding? Just write it out. It's not going to hurt you. Texture cache get position. Oh, this is that frickin' get. They have this index linked hash map bullshit. Get index of ID. What? I don't even know what the point of this is. They're adding this to the data. The texture cache position. I don't know what the point of that is. And then what are they doing with this data? Like, what is this data supposed to do? Mapped memory. So I guess this is the data. Okay. This is a reference to the data in the source buffer, I guess. So when the source buffer gets transferred over, it's going to have this data in it. That must be what it is. What a weird misdirection nonsense here. It's just so weird. You just get this naked code here that you look at and you go, what the hell is going on? Like, it's just out of left field, right? And it's probably some weird workaround for whatever object model they generated that you would never actually need for anything else, probably. But you can't tell because they don't tell you. Like, you know, hey, we're just doing this for now. We're going to get rid of this later, kind of thing. Get position. I don't. is the... So there's the get position. What are we, why do we care? This will store the textures indexed by the path to the file used to load them. The reason for this structure is to be able to recover the texture by its path, like in a map, while maintaining the insertion order. Although by now we will be accessing by path, later on we'll need to get the textures by the position they were loaded. While maintaining the insertion order. I mean, wouldn't that just be a tree map at that point? Like, I don't, unless the tree map just doesn't give them an integer back, which, I mean, is entirely possible. Java tree map. A red-black tree-based navigable map implementation. The map is sorted according to the natural ordering of its keys or by a comparator provided at map creation time, depending on which constructor is used. This implementation provides guaranteed log of n time cost for the contains key get, put, and remove operations. Algorithms are adaptations of those in Corman, Legerson, and Rivas introduction algorithms. Note that the ordering maintained by a tree map, like any sorted map, and whether or not explicit comparator is provided, must be consistent with equals. This implementation is not synchronized, so multiple threads access the map concurrently. At least one of the threads modifies the map structurally. It must be synchronized externally. Yeah, sure, okay. Well, I mean, you've got... So you got tree map, which is based on a comparator, so that's maybe not necessarily what they want, but you could make a comparator that would work. You got collection synchronized sorted map. Oh, nice. Okay. But then there's, I think they're coming off of linked hash map, right? Linked hash map. Which is, yeah, with a predictable iteration order. This implementation differs from HashMap in that it maintains a doubly linked list running through all of its entries. The linked list defines iteration ordering, which is normally the order in which the keys were inserted into the map. Okay, insertion order. Boom, there's your ordered map. Right? So, and it looks like they came off of linked hash map, but then why did they need an index then? Like, that's the part I don't understand. Like, you can just, like, if you do values, wait, is it based on the key or on the value? The order in which the keys were inserted into the map. Okay. So if you know the key, which in theory you do, although I wonder, the values are... The collection is backed by a map, so changes in the map are reflected in the collection. The map is modified while an iteration over the collection is in progress. Master sequential... No, there's a... How about entry set? Entry set will get you what you want, right? says backed by the map. The map is modified. Set supports element removal. Does not support the add or add all operations. The split generator. Its splitterator typically provides faster sequential performance, but much poorer parallel performance than that of HashMap. Splitterator? Interface splitterator, an object for traversing and partitioning elements of a source. Oh, okay. Yeah, so you'd have an entry set, and then that will be in the order in which you put the keys in. So I don't understand why you need a freaking like. I don't know why they would need this additional layer of nonsense on top of it. Like, where's the, where do they have their thing at here? Where's that? So get position. Calling texture map, get index of. So let's see what this is. Index lists. New array lists. Get index of, get value at index. So when you put something in here, it adds it to the index lists and then puts it into the map. Also that it can then say index. So it's it's storing the key twice for no good reason, so they could do an index of on it on the key, and then they have a get value at index, which is doing a super dot get index list get. Which I don't know. the height of silliness that this falls to sometimes just makes my brain want to leave my skull. That's so stupid. It's just like, just call it get entry set. And then you've got a set you can iterate over and get the index. Like, does set have, set probably doesn't have an index of, is probably what they're trying to get around, right? Like, does, let me see here. So there's an entry set. So map entry. So set. So interface set. So what does this give me? Remove if for each. Okay, so set doesn't have an index. Although I don't know what splitterator does. Characteristics of its structure. Efficient. Oh, it's designed to support efficient parallel traversal in addition to sequential traversal. Oh, okay. So what does this have? Immutable. Estimate size for each remaining. Okay. Yeah, this is some stuff that I don't understand. So we're not gonna look at that. So okay, so there's no index of on a set. Now I wonder Apache Commons set index of list ordered set. So what is this? Decorates another set to ensure that the order of addition is retained and used by iterator. If an object is added to the set for a second time, it will remain in the original position in the iteration. The order can be observed from a set. Okay, blah, blah, blah. Also has various useful direct methods to get... Oh, yeah, this has an index of. So, the storage set, blah, blah, blah. So this one, and it just wraps. It doesn't copy the set. So if you do the empty lists, it specifies the list to use. These are protected constructors. I don't know. Can you not use them? Oh, okay, yeah, because it's got factory methods. Got it. So you just do list ordered set, give it the set, and then should be able to just do index of. Where's the methods at? Yeah, it's even got a get index on there, but you can do index of and then whatever object you want. It gives the index of the first occurrence of the specified element in the ordered set. There you go. So there you go, book author. Just use a damn list ordered set and stop reinventing the damn wheel all the time. Google is your friend. Go Google some shit for a change. Alright, so I definitely don't need the index linked hash map nonsense. Position. So for our purposes, so we need to get position. So that's just the texture cache itself. What did I do? Did I Vulkan texture cache? I did do one here. Yeah, I made it a linked hash map. Right. So all I really need to do is Vulkan texture, create texture. I'll just put a method here. It says int get texture Hash index. And then we're doing a string mixture path. And then we just need to do what this other thing said, right? List ordered set. Oh, there's a list ordered map. Is that? Maybe I can just use that. List ordered. Apache Commons. List ordered map. Shorty order of addition is retained using a list to maintain order. Yep, okay. Iterators, map iterator, order map iterator. It's not synchronized, not thread safe, sure. It doesn't work with identity, hash map, case insensitive map, or similar maps that violate the general contract of map. Okay. There we go. This has an index of on it already. Boom. List ordered map. We'll just make it that. And then I don't have to do a damn thing. How about them apples? List ordered map. Bam. So we'll just do... do return cache. Let's say it had index of on it. What? Did I do the right thing? Commons collections for list ordered map. Okay. Okay, why can't you find this? List ordered map, entry set as lists. Get value, index of. Index of. Why is that not? Am I just losing my mind here? Why doesn't that... I hate that that doesn't work. I don't think, you know what? I don't think, which it is updated here. I don't think the IDE has figured out yet that I'm using that. Let's go here and Maven and sync project.
Welcome back to Citadel Station. We hope your somnolent healing stage went well. Today is the 6th day of November.
I doesn't see this. Oh, duh. I know why. I know why it doesn't see it. Because I'm an idiot. Now it sees it. Okay. Alright. Alright. So we got that. So return that index of there. Alright. So then back to where we were. Back to here, and then we can now do this stuff. So data put int. Okay. And that is.
Around me is a burgeoning empire of steel. From my throne room, lines
Vector 4 size.
of skies above.
Has texture.
Lightning bolts that devastate the minds of humanity. Out of the chaos, they will run and whimper, praying for me to end their duties ever. I am drunk with this vision.
Right, and then BK utils int size. Okay, so data put int length, right?
Look at you, hacker.
And then texture cache,
Sweating as you run through
position. So I need the
How can you challenge a perfect immortal machine?
yeah, so we'll need the reference to the texture cache here. Texture cache index of the material texture file path. Right, because that's where the texture path came from, right? Yeah. And then padding. So times 2 times 3. Okay, so data put int. No, Yes. Vector 4 size times that. Or doing this. Right. Doing that times 2. Right. And then times 3. Okay. Offset plus equals material size, but I don't need that because we're not in a loop here. Source buffer unmap. Okay. What is that actually doing? Unmapping memory. I don't know why we're calling unmap and then the record transfer command. Like, it seems like you would want to do that before you unmapped it, but I don't. I don't know. Because they're doing source buffer, they put that into there, into transfer buffer. That just returns the buffer. Because we haven't cleaned it up, we've just unmapped the memory. So yeah, I don't. I mean, I'll do the same thing, but I don't. Some of these things, some of the wording here is not particularly conducive to learning. And then transfer buffer, record transfer command. So record transfer command, source buffer, destination buffer. Where do they do the destination buffer to? Oh, materials buffer. Material buffer. Okay. And I don't need to do end recording because that will get called. Along with, I guess, submit and wait and clean up will get called. The tricky part here is is this cleanup. That's the only problem, is it looks like that needs to happen. That's gonna be tricky. Because I can't clean that up until it actually is transferred. Otherwise, it won't transfer anything. Um, I'll have to move that into its own thing here. In fact, you know what? We'll make a cleanup method in here, or I'll make a source cleanup method or something. Oh, I can't because that source buffer is a local variable. I'll have to promote that to a member variable, which is not great, but like doing this, but it's going to have to be a thing. Public void clean temp source buffer. So that would be what do they call? Just clean up. Put a guard around it too. If temp source buffer does not equal null, I can do that. There we go. I just gotta make sure that gets called at the end of all this craziness. So let's do load material into GPU device command cache. Okay. Yeah, and then at the end of prepare material loop here, which is this one. Crap. No, not there. That's fine. It's fine. So come up here. Air material. There we go. So down here, clean source transfer buffer. See, I already have something like it. So we'll just go. Do I have a material? Prepare material. Material lists is in Vulkan model. Yeah, okay. Wait, where am I at here? I'm in Vulkan model. Prepare material is right there. Okay, okay. All right, yeah, we're fine. We're fine. So we can just do material lists for each temp source buffer. There we go. There we go. A little less efficient. Well, is that true? I guess it's about the same, probably. But There we go. Okay, so that should clean those things up. What's wrong with this guy? Stream for each can be replaced with just for each. Oh. Oh, it can. There we go. That's nice. Okay. So I think I've got that in there. The question is, where does that put us? And everything else. That's the load material. So I think I'm loading materials now correctly from the materials cache. I think the model cache is fine. I think the model is okay. I think, because we already had a model loaded, so you gotta imagine it's probably still okay. It's just when we go to do the render class, when we have to load up all these materials and stuff, we'll just have to figure out how that works. I mean, I guess I don't need to figure out how that works, because it'll be... We'll already be calling it. Our loader loads all the stuff, so... I guess we're fine there. You know what? We'll find out when we get there. At the end of this, we'll probably have another problem where I need to, like, where nothing works and I have to figure out what's going on. Okay. Yeah, we kept these the same, just they were getting it from this data input stream, which I'm not getting it from. So, create a new class materials cache. So I've gone through that. Did they tell you why they're doing this? Put int. Which in our case will be diffuse color. If the material has a texture associated, not a texture index associated with the material. Keep insertion order. Okay. As in the case of the models, we create a staging buffer, a GPU only accessible buffer, materials, full of vector 4. Okay, and then they're into descriptors now. We gotta do like the descriptor pool and all this stuff, and I'm gonna probably stick closely to what they're doing here for this, because yeah, they're using these freaking records and stuff again, but I'm gonna... It sounds like the descriptor pool stuff is like a black box, so I'm gonna kind of roll with the punches there, I think. So let's see where that is. That's what they're starting with, right? Descriptor pool. Yeah. just taking a device in. Okay. This looks relatively straightforward. Alright. I'm gonna stop though right now because I'm getting tired. Getting real tired. I kind of want. I guess we'll just pick this up tomorrow. I was gonna maybe do some more work on the bot or something, but I'm just not feeling at all confident in that right now. And I kind of just want to make some more progress here with in this chapter and just get to a point where we have our model loading up. Because we got what? Descriptors, all descriptor stuff. And some more changes, the anisotropy and stuff in device and texture sampler, descriptor. Image view has a few things now. Attachment, swap chain. There's a lot of little things added. Allocator. That's just putting that in there. Stupid class. And then completing the changes. Pipeline build info. Update the pipeline class to take a descriptor set layouts into consideration. Okay, so they're adding descriptor set layouts there. Pipeline class. And then it looks like scene render class. And then they're just updating their shaders. So the number of textures it will support. Okay. Diffuse color, all that stuff. And then we just have to wire it up into the scene render, which I don't have. That's something new they just put in here. So I'll have to figure out what the equivalent is for all this. I mean, it looks like they're just creating pipeline and all that stuff, so it's probably just my render class. They've added some utilities. Create pipeline. Which is probably just adding in... Yeah, the descriptor set layouts probably is what they're adding in there. The materials render. Material. Need to update the buffer, which contains the projection matrix. Copy matrix to buffer. We're not doing that now? I guess we're not doing that now. And then they have their render class. I don't know what the SCN render class means then. I guess scene render? I don't know. See a nice rotating cube with texture. Oh, they've changed it. So it was just a similar texture on all the sides, and now they've changed the. So it has a different texture on each side. Hmm. Okay. I mean that. Again, they've added complexity too soon. I think in the like this could have been like here's a cube with multiple textures. You know, could have been like chapter 9 instead. You know what I mean? Like or just like a chapter in between, like 8.5 or something. Instead of tossing it all into this one thing. I mean that's probably my other underlying complaint about how they have this laid out is that these chapters are really really long, and I get that you know there's a lot of foundational stuff, but it feels like they've put too many things into a chapter sometimes, and they could have just gone with something. They could have made a smaller step instead of just these giant leaps that they're doing. I mean, really, it feels that way. Yeah. But, alright. It is what it is. It is what it is. We'll figure something out. So, we're definitely not finishing Chapter 8 tomorrow, that's for sure. Because they've got a lot to do there. Still in the chapter. I think we're at best halfway through it. And then when we do get to the end of the chapter, it's probably not going to work immediately. I'm going to have to figure out what's going on and what I need to load and all that stuff. But we'll get there. We'll get there. We'll get there. Slowly but surely, I will try to wrap my brain around this stuff. And it kills me too that like I got really far on OpenGL like in like a month. Without even a reference book, just kind of just tooling around in it. And we're like 2 months into this, and I'm not even, actually 3 months into this, and we're not even to where I was with the OpenGL. it's just, I don't, it's frustrating. It's very frustrating. All right, friends. That'll do it for me for tonight. I will be back tomorrow afternoon. Hopefully earlier, so I can get a couple hours in. But we'll see how I feel. And tomorrow night, we'll see. My thought is that I'll probably just chill out and do Planet Crafter. But like I said, Titan Quest 2 has come out into early access, so maybe I'll jump into that. I don't know. I mean, it would behoove me to wait on that, I think, a little bit until all the bigger streamers get sick of it. Real fast, which I'm sure is going to happen pretty quickly, because most of them were getting paid for it today. So it might actually behoove me to kind of wait a little bit on that. So we'll see. Whatever I happen to be in the mood for tomorrow night, and then Sunday night will most likely be Planet Crafter, because I want to just make a bunch more progress there, and we're almost, I think, to the end of Humble. And then we'll get some story beats going on that, and then it's on to, we got 2 more moons to go. Both of those look like I mean, they're going to take time, obviously, but they don't look like they have quite as many stages to go through. And at this point, we've unlocked a lot more stuff to just kind of like, I can just pull a lot of resources over from the other places. So I think that'll be good from that perspective. So yeah, I think that's the plan right now. If you happen to run across this on the YouTubes and you have a like and or a subscribe that you can kind of toss my way, that would be awesome and swell and great, and I appreciate it greatly. It helps out tremendously. Otherwise, thank you so much, everyone, for watching. I hope everyone has an excellent morning, afternoon, or evening, depending on what it is for you. And I hope to see you back here again in the future for some more stuff, whatever happens to suit your fancy. Until then, see you, bye.
This is the way.